All right. So let's talk about what our first marriage taught us: the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Definitely taught us a lot, that's for sure.
Um, Mistakes we refuse to repeat. I'll say as for me, miscommunication, jumping the gun, probably not reading somebody's mind, ask questions, say what you feel.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, communication is definitely key, right? Like, nobody is a mind reader.
Mm.
As we've gotten to know each other, I get to feel our connection, feel your energy, right? When you're on a high, when you're on a low, I could see your facial expressions, right? But at the end of the day, I don't know what you're actually thinking.
No, but
So,
you're learning. You're learning me, I'm learning you. But the point is not to get to learn somebody's expressions, their unspoken words. It's to actually ask to make sure that we're communicating still.
100% actually talking things through. What are you feeling?
Mhm.
How did I make you feel this way? Whatever it may be, but actually understanding what that other person is feeling.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, I mean, I think as humans too, we just naturally think that maybe it's something we did, but you might be feeling bad one day because of something that happened outside of my control, outside in work, or just somebody on the road. Who knows, right? Like anything, it could be anything,
Yeah.
right? So I think part of that communication is also learning not to take things personal, right? Like, let's understand first what our partner is feeling before we just jump right into they got a look on their face,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. Think we're just be consistent with that. Ask each other questions, verbalize our feelings, because I don't want to assume anything. I don't want to assume what you're feeling, what you're thinking. So I might be wrong. And then I'm not doing you any service by doing all that. And then I create other things in my head. So,
Yeah. And I know both of us have already done that, especially earlier on in this relationship,
hmm
right? And we're developing this skill of communication still. It's always an ongoing learning experience. But yeah, I mean, we definitely have both automatically jumped the gun and just assumed. And both times they're wrong.
yeah,
What we assumed was completely different.
yeah.
So,
Habits you carried with you. Um, I can say for me, as we both experienced, was the shutting down habit. So that was my habit. Hmm,
certain trigger words, I think, right? It's
the
not necessarily a habit, but yeah.
the quote unquote "you" word.
You,
Yeah. Oh
you did this, you
God.
do that. Always pointing the finger. Yeah.
Or you always do this. All those two words really are like they're really triggering to me. I think rewording things we want to say to each other is a skill, and it's hard at the same time because we definitely want to tell each other what we're thinking, but we don't want to be judgmental. We don't want to come across a certain way. So making sure that our verbiage is correct.
And it goes back to that childhood lesson, right? Think before you speak.
Hmm.
But again, it's also a practiced skill,
Yeah.
right? Where we learn how to speak to each other in a sensitive way,
Hmm.
understanding each other's triggers or feelings, and just making sure that we communicate properly without pointing a finger or hitting somebody's trigger,
Yeah.
right? Like, that's not good communication.
Mhm.
Why am I going to purposely go after what triggers you?
Yeah.
That's an attack. We're not here to attack each other. We're here to support each other regardless, right? Like, I'm here to back you up
Mhm.
every time, even in the hard times.
Supposed to work together. Um, and like you had mentioned, we're we don't wanna hit those triggers. We wanna make sure that we're not doing that. So understanding that one person feels this way when something is said or something is done, really take that into consideration. We're not here to be enemies or battle each other out. Like, no, I don't want to ever trigger you or say something incorrectly that makes you question anything. So just making sure that I have that respect for you in regards to those trigger words and, you know, working together as a couple.
Yeah, and going back to the habits too, right? I know we talked about this one a couple weeks ago, but one of those things where I was constantly shut down by my partner. Every idea I ever had, or every just anything I wanted to do, just even conversations, I was
Hmm.
constantly just shut down immediately. And it wasn't that I shut down, it was that the communication was so bad that we couldn't talk about anything. Or, yeah, if I did have an idea, it was never a good idea.
Hmm.
Right. So,
But to that point, like, if that person feels it's not a good idea, or anything of that matter, then let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. Let's,
yeah,
figure out what works better, or because my ideas are not always going to be what you want or what you need. You need your ideas. You need your own thought process. And if you feel a certain way and you're strong about something, who am I to say don't do that? No, I'm going to support you. I'm going to be that backup person for you that you need. I don't want to shut you down.
no, I don't want to be shut down. Right. I don't think any of us do want to be shut down. Right. We're here to support our partner. We're here to support each other and build this. We're a partnership.
Hmm.
Marriage isn't built just on love.
Hmm. It's not.
As much as we all want to say, "Oh, I love this person, marriage is going to work." No, it's built on love as a foundation,
Hmm.
but you can't build a house without a foundation.
Yeah.
But then you still need all the wood and all the other materials, right? So we need to build and support each other all the way up.
In all the instances, all the scenarios, all in everything, we have to. We didn't have that before. We
No,
didn't have any building blocks with our exes, and
no. I mean, we just started off and thinking we love this person so much and got married, yay. And then all of a sudden, oh, hold on.
yeah, there's some serious things wrong here that,
Yeah,
I mean, we're not perfect, right? We went about our relationship the way we.
felt was right
Mhm.
at that time.
Yeah. But, if the other person's not gonna meet you in the middle or even halfway, or it's never gonna work. And we discovered that, unfortunately. And that's okay. It's okay to get it wrong, but to make sure that we don't get it wrong again.
Right. I mean, I think life just gives us so many lessons, right? Where you make a mistake and that's okay, but you have to learn from it,
Mhm.
not play the victim card, not repeat it, not all that other BS. Just take the life's lesson, accept it, learn from it, and grow with it.
Absolutely.
Move on. Say, now I know this. I'm that much stronger. I'm that much better. Let me move on in life.
And we have really been doing that together. We're really learning to come together, and it may feel odd to us, as we have mentioned before. It definitely feels odd. Um, because for so long, we're used to doing it on our own. We're used to just having that judgment and that insecurity of that person. And now that we have each other, it feels great.
It does. And the more we open up to each other
Mhm.
and the more that we're able to learn from each other
Mhm.
of this was my experience, this was your experience. Like, let's build on that.
Yeah. Let's in a way, kind of not make that mistake again. And let's be better for each other, for our family, but mostly for each other. We deserve it.
Yeah. So many years of this short life
Yeah.
not in the right place.
There's definitely no more wasted time. Like, let's not waste time being, I'm going to say, quote unquote, ignorant, like in our relationship. Let's, let's actually not do those mistakes again and communicate, talk to each other.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely make sure that everything is put out on the table, either when it arises or when we do our weekly check-ins with each other. Everything is put out there, right? Because the longer something festers in your brain, the longer you're going to build on it. You're gonna make it more than what it actually is,
Hmm.
versus just talking about it.
Yeah. Scenarios do come up in our own head, and we definitely make them. Um,
Especially you women, when you have those dreams.
oh, wow. Okay. Yes, we have those dreams. It's because I love you.
I love you too.
Patterns you both need to break. We've broken a lot of patterns, put down a lot of walls on I can say patterns. Asking for help. That's probably the pattern that I need to break.
That's
It's
fair.
I've never been used to anybody being helpful, wanting to help me. And when I did, it was brought up later. Like, "Oh, I helped you do this." And that's what I never did. I was never going to ask that person for help because he was always going to put it in my face. So, understanding that you don't do that, that's the pattern I need to break. Like, he actually does want to help me. He wants to be better with me and do the things with me, for me, with me. And I need to ask you when I need. So,
Yeah. I mean, and I can totally piggyback off the same exact thing, this weekend's a perfect example. You just automatically helped me prep the food and prep all the supplies for our camping trip this weekend. Like, I'm not used to that. I'm normally the one who had to do
mhm,
everything and prepare for the entire family for however long we were going to go. Well, the other person sat and did nothing.
mhm,
So the fact that I didn't ask and you just started doing it, it's still foreign to me.
mhm,
Even after all this time,
mhm,
it still feels weird, but I'm definitely learning how to accept it. I'm learning how to accept the automatic help that you give me even without me asking.
mhm,
Do both of us need to ask more when we need it? 100%. But just the fact that you do things because you want to help, you want to be there, you want to support.
mhm.
That's getting better with me, but it's still foreign.
Yeah. I want to unload your stress or anything that's all the things you have going on in your head, right? Like, I need to do this, this, and this, but I'm here too. So I can definitely help you with some of that. And with those simple things, I don't really need you to help to ask me because I think they're what our foundation is built on, our relationship. What helping each other is a part of that.
Yeah.
It's not just all the other things that are absolutely wonderful, but comes with all the things that are not too. Like cleaning, like laundry and all that. Those are not fun things but I want to help you any way that I can do those things.
Because that is the real life, everyday thing,
Mhm.
you know? It's going back to that whole marry the person that you can do those hard times with. It's absolutely true. It's easy to love somebody when you're constantly in vacation mode, when you're constantly out to nice dinners
Mhm.
or whatever your hobby may be, or this person's always bringing you flowers. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great. But when you get down to the nitty gritty of
Mhm.
the daily, hey, I need to go shopping, I
Mhm.
need to do laundry, I need to scrub a toilet, like those are
Yeah.
all real daily things that are not fun, but they need to get done. And if you have somebody who's there for all those little things to support, then just go with it, you know?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's necessary that we because like we talked about, we're gonna live together. So if we're gonna live together, definitely practicing the things that we are gonna do on a daily basis
mhm,
is necessary.
100%.
Yeah, we're gonna find each other's patterns, what we do, what we like and don't like, how we clean, and
All part of it.
that is all part of
That's
it.
all part of the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think too, like, going back to those habits, and we just we spent so much time after the first marriage, both of us, her we spent so much time healing after that first marriage, right? That I feel like we did a lot of work, both of us.
Mhm.
We put in a ton of self-healing and doing what we thought was right by being by ourselves after the first marriage and really healing those parts of us that we could do on our own. Now it's that time where we support each other to heal those parts that we can't do alone. And I think that has really strengthened our bond because when we came together, we still had broken pieces, which is okay because now we're supporting each other and fixing those broken
Mhm.
pieces, but we're fixing them together, and that is helping our relationship. That's making us bond more, right?
Mhm.
Because now we're understanding each other, but we're also here supporting each other. And I think it's that support that really strengthens the overall relationship because there's no judgment. Uh, there's no negative feelings that
Mhm.
we had with our past relationships. It's everything is so positive, everything's so supportive,
Mhm.
and there's so much love built around this, but there's more than love.
Mhm. No, I think you really hit that on point. Like, that's hands down right there. I'm gonna say that was great. You you're absolutely right. We are absolutely brand new to each other. So let's keep the motion going in the right direction. Are we gonna have bad days? Absolutely. Are we gonna have little tiffs about each other? Are we gonna argue a little bit? But our communication is so strong that let's keep it going. Let's not lose that love for the communication that we have in little things that are absolutely little. Let's talk about them. Let's work them out. Let's figure it out together.
And that's what the second round's about.
It is. We have our last question for each other. How to honor your past without living it. Hmm. How to honor it.
I think for me, that kind of tells me not to live in regret,
Okay.
right? Like, I know we've both mentioned before, wasted so many years, da da da.
Mm-hmm.
But at one point, you had good times. We love the other person,
Yeah.
right? I mean, we built a life with somebody else. Did it end the way we wanted it? Of course, nobody wants it to end at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to live in regret.
Okay.
The decision that I made during that time is what felt was the right decision. It goes back to my saying, you know what you know when you know. And that's what I knew. And that's what I felt was the right decision. Then I lived all these years, right? Because I wanted to make things work. And
Mm-hmm.
like we talked about before, we had hope. But again, overall, what I'm trying to say is I'm not going to live in regret. I'm going to appreciate the decisions that I made and the
Mm-hmm.
lessons I learned because it got me to who I am and where I'm at today.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to regret that by any means.
Yeah.
It may have not been the fairy tale that we all had imagined in the beginning, but this is the reality now. And I love it. I would
Yeah.
have never met you. I would have never been in this beautiful relationship. I would have never had this support, this love, this communication, this structure if it weren't for all that happened in the past.
You're absolutely right. I'm going to piggyback off your appreciation of, or the appreciation analogy of, appreciate the decisions I made. They happen the way they happen. They shaped us who we are today, and they shaped our relationship to be what it is today.
100%.
strong, loving, passive in any way for each other, that we will do what we need to do to make our relationship work better than the previous. Let's set all that aside and work on all those things we didn't work on before.
Absolutely.
So we're going to make it work and appreciate that we had our relationship with somebody else. And that's okay. Things went the way they went, but it really has shaped us to be better people for each other. And we would have never found each other if we never lost the others.
Exactly.
So, and we would have never had all this, our love,
Our first podcast.
our first podcast. There
Wow.
we go.
All right. Well, that's all we got for this one. Next one is going to be lessons learned the hard way. So stay tuned for episode number 2.